Was he a sorcerer who could command the elements, or history's most magnificent fraud? In the glittering, volatile world of 1780s Paris, one name whispered in every salon held the power of both salvation and ruin. Count Alessandro di Cagliostro. Offering the city's elite elixirs of eternal youth, and glimpses into the future through his hypnotic crystal ball. And Bacaloro. Princes and duchesses hung on his every word, believing he held the secrets to alchemy and immortality. But when the infamous affair of the diamond necklace erupted, shattering the reputation of Queen Marie Antoinette and shaking the foundations of the French monarchy, the public's adoration curdled into suspicion. The miracle worker was recast as a master manipulator, the enlightened guide as a political traitor. This is the story of his dizzying ascent and catastrophic fall, a journey from the pinnacles of power to the grim shadow of the Bastille. We unravel the mystery of the man, or the illusion known as Cagliostro, and ask the question that haunts history. Was he a genuine mystic or the greatest con artist to ever live? Paris, 1784. A city of light and shadow, where reason and mysticism danced a dangerous waltz. Into this whirlwind of change stepped a man who seemed born of both. Count Alessandro di Cagliostro. He was an event. His arrival was heralded by whispers that grew into a roar, a legend taking form in the gilded salons of the Faubourg Saint-Germain. The aristocracy, jaded by earthly pleasures and hungry for the sublime, found in him a figure of profound fascination. He spoke of ancient Egyptian wisdom, of the soul's journey, and of the great work, the alchemical quest not just for gold, but for spiritual perfection. His charisma was a potent force, his piercing eyes seeming to look not at you, but through you, into the very heart of your desires and aspirations. He did not merely lecture, he mesmerized. In an era teetering on the brink of revolution, Cagliostro offered not political solutions, but spiritual transcendence. He presented himself as a phoenix, reborn from the ashes of forgotten ages, to guide a new generation. The elite of Paris saw in him a reflection of their own grandest ambitions. To defy time, to unlock the secrets of the universe, and to touch the face of the divine. They flocked to his demonstrations, hanging on every word, unaware that the flame that illuminated him so brightly could also cast the deepest of shadows, and that the secrets he held were far more complex and far more terrestrial than they could ever imagine. This was the very foundation of his immense power, a grand stage set for miracles and misunderstandings. In the heart of Paris's Marais district, where gas lamps cast a soft, golden glow upon the cobblestones, Count Cagliostro held court. His salon was not merely a room but a sanctuary, a theater of the arcane where the French elite sought refuge from their greatest fear, mortality. Heavy velvet curtains, the color of dried blood, muffled the sounds of the city, and the air was thick with the intoxicating scent of myrrh, sandalwood, and ozone. Here, amidst authentic Egyptian statuettes and complex astrological charts, Cagliostro unveiled his most coveted creation, the elixir of immortality. He claimed it was no mere tonic but a distillation of the primordial life force, the prima materia itself, a secret passed down from ancient magi, capable of reversing the relentless march of time. To his enraptured audience of dukes and duchesses, their powdered faces etched with the anxieties of age, he was more than a man. He was a living promise of renewal. With mesmerizing, fluid gestures, he would begin his great work for the evening. He disdained the crude tools of a common apothecary. His instruments were of gleaming brass and bohemian crystal, his ingredients exotic and whispered to be sourced from the four corners of the world, moon-drenched herbs from the Pyrenees, powdered gems from the Orient, and dew collected at dawn on a specific astrological conjunction. He spoke not of chemistry, but of planetary alignments and the sympathetic vibrations that bind the cosmos, weaving a spell of words as potent as any potion. Time, he would declare, his voice a resonant hum that seemed to vibrate within one's very bones, is a river. Most are swept away by its unforgiving current. But the true adept, the initiate of the great work, learns to navigate its eddies, to drink from its very source. The price for a single vial was astronomical, a fortune paid not just in louis d'or, but in absolute, unquestioning faith. As he held a small, glowing flask of pearlescent liquid to the candlelight, its contents swirling with an inner light, the room held its collective breath. The hope in their eyes was palpable, a desperate, shining thing. Was this the key to eternal life, or the most magnificent deception Paris had ever witnessed? The air in the Marquis de Launay's salon grew heavy, thick with the scent of beeswax, expensive perfume, and unspilled secrets. Here in the opulent heart of 1780s Paris, Count Cagliostro held court not with swords, but with shadows and suggestion. His audience, a collection of France's most powerful and superstitious nobles, leaned forward as one, their silks and satins rustling in the charged silence. They were moths drawn to a flame they could neither comprehend nor resist. At the center of the room, a single tall candle illuminated the polished surface of a large crystal sphere, a miniature moon capturing the rapt, anxious faces of his patrons. Cagliostro's voice, a low and resonant hum, filled the void, speaking of ancient Egypt, forgotten rites, and the gossamer thin veil separating their world from the next. In these moments, he was no longer Giuseppe Balsamo, the scrappy boy from Palermo. He was a conduit, a living oracle channeling eternity. His hands, one adorned with an ancient, engraved ring, hovered over the crystal, not quite touching its cool surface. He claimed to see futures swirling within its milky depths, fortunes won, loves lost, and political alliances teetering on the brink of collapse. For the Parisian elite, desperate for an anchor of certainty in a world tilting toward chaos, these visions were more valuable than gold. They paid handsomely for a glimpse of destiny, never questioning if the whispers they heard from the crystal were from the spirit world, or simply masterful echoes of the secrets they had already confessed to the charismatic Count during private consultations. He was a mirror, reflecting their own hopes and fears back at them with a divine gloss. Beyond the public seances and elixirs, Count Alessandro di Cagliostro cultivated a more profound source of power, secrecy itself. In the heart of Lyons, a city humming with esoteric currents, he founded his magnum opus, the Mother Lodge of the Egyptian Rite of Freemasonry. This was no ordinary fraternity of handshakes and pleasantries. It was a hermetic inner circle, a spiritual fortress where Cagliostro, styling himself the Grand Copt, promised to unveil the primordial truths of Thoth and Hermes Trismegistus, secrets lost since the burning of Alexandria's library. His initiates were not common men. They were drawn from the highest echelons of French aristocracy, finance, and intelligentsia, all bound by oaths of absolute loyalty. They gathered in lavishly decorated sanctums, chambers adorned with intricate hieroglyphs, astrological charts, and burning incense, creating an atmosphere thick with mysticism. Here, they sought not political advantage, but spiritual ascension. Cagliostro taught them the revered Arcana Arcanorum, the secret of secrets. This was a complex process of alchemical and spiritual purification, a great work, upon the self, intended to lead to physical regeneration, mastery over the elements, and direct communication with higher, unseen intelligences. He was no longer just a count, he was a hierophant, a living bridge to immortality. But this clandestine empire, built on whispers and ritual, inevitably bred suspicion, while his devoted followers saw a modern prophet restoring the sacred wisdom of the ancients. The established Masonic orders and the ever-watchful eyes of the French state saw something far more dangerous. A charismatic charlatan, building a private army of influential devotees, loyal only to him. His lodge became a paradox, a sanctuary for enlightenment that cast a long, menacing shadow across the kingdom. Every oath of loyalty sworn to the Grand Copt was perceived as a potential act of treason against the crown. The Grandmaster's greatest secret was not just the alchemical path to eternal life. It was a blueprint for a spiritual kingdom that threatened to eclipse the temporal one, and the walls of authority were beginning to close in, brick by suspicious brick. The year is 1785, and the gilded salons of Paris hum with a single scandalous name: the affair of the diamond necklace. This intricate web of deceit, spun by the ambitious Comtesse Jeanne de la Motte, has ensnared one of France's most powerful men, the Cardinal de Rohan. And in the Cardinal's orbit, Count Cagliostro finds the ground shifting beneath his feet. He, the Grand Master of Secrets, had consulted his scrying mirrors and warned the Cardinal, speaking in veiled prophecies of a poisoned gift and a phantom queen. But Rohan, consumed by his desperate quest for Marie Antoinette's favor, ignored the mystic's omens, choosing instead to believe the sweet lies whispered by the Comtesse. Now, the scheme has spectacularly collapsed. The priceless necklace is missing, the royal jewelers are demanding payment from an innocent queen, and all of Versailles is in an uproar. The Parisian aristocracy, who once breathlessly attended Cagliostro's seances and paid fortunes for his elixirs of youth, now looks upon him with cold suspicion. The narrative twists in the public's mind. Was he a genuine prophet who went unheeded, or the shadowy architect of the entire fraud? His foreign origins, his mysterious wealth, his command of esoteric arts, all the qualities that once made him a celebrated marvel now paint him as the perfect scapegoat. He is the ideal villain in a story the monarchy desperately needs to control. The Queen's honor demands a sacrifice, and the shadow of her fury falls not just on the foolish cardinal, but squarely on the enigmatic sorcerer who advised him. The very air in his opulent apartments grows heavy with foreboding, the candlelight flickering as if in fear. The grand illusion is about to be shattered by the cold, hard fist of the state. A sharp, authoritative knock echoes through the chamber, a sound that signals the end of his Parisian reign and the beginning of a descent into the unforgiving darkness of the Bastille. Within the velvet-draped walls of the Palais Royal, Cardinal de Rohan's ambition festered. Desperate to regain the Queen's favor, he saw in Cagliostro not a spiritual guide, but a key to unlock the doors of Versailles. The air in Rohan's private salon was thick with incense and unspoken desires. Cagliostro, a master of atmosphere, conducted a scrying session. He spoke of celestial alignments and the convergence of powerful fates, his voice weaving a tapestry of prophecy. For the cardinal, these hazy pronouncements were a divine endorsement. Encouraged by the scheming Jean de Valois, who whispered poisonously in his ear, Rohan interpreted Cagliostro's mystical visions as a clear command. Secure the magnificent diamond necklace for the Queen, and his restoration to grace would be assured. Cagliostro, for his part, may have only been performing his usual theater of the arcane, reflecting the desires of his wealthy patron. He spoke of transmuting fortune and aligning the stars of influence, language the cardinal eagerly twisted to fit his own narrative. Rohan failed to see the trap being laid, not by the stars, but by the far more terrestrial greed of his confidante Jean. He believed he was manipulating destiny with the help of a sorcerer, when in reality, he was a pawn in a far more dangerous game. Cagliostro's prophecies were about to become entangled in a conspiracy that would ensnare them all, pulling the Grand Copt from the salons of the elite into the heart of a royal scandal. The first move in this treacherous gambit was made, not with a chess piece, but with a promise whispered over a bowl of shimmering water. In a dusty workshop on Rue Saint-Honoré, a different kind of alchemy was taking place. Here, royal jewelers Charles Baumer and Paul Bassinge toiled not with elixirs, but with fire and forceps, crafting a river of light. The diamond necklace. Comprising 600 pieces of staggering beauty and a monument to their impending financial ruin. The necklace had been commissioned for the previous king's mistress, but his passing left the jewelers with an unsellable treasure in crushing debt. Their desperation was a scent Jean de Valois could detect from a league away. She presented herself as an agent of the Queen, a confidante who could broker a secret sale. With forged letters and whispered assurances, She convinced the jewelers that Marie Antoinette coveted the necklace, but wished to purchase it discreetly through an intermediary, the Cardinal de Rohan. The jewelers, seeing a miraculous escape from bankruptcy, agreed without question. The moment of transfer was thick with tension. In a clandestine meeting, the heavy velvet case was handed over to the cardinal's representative. The glare of the diamonds was blinding, a physical manifestation of Rohan's ambition, John's cunning, and the jeweler's naive hope. As the lid of the case closed, it sealed a pact built on lies. The necklace, a symbol of ultimate luxury, was now a ticking bomb, its journey just beginning. It would not grace the queen's neck, but would instead be broken apart and sold. Its brilliance scattered across the black markets of Europe, leaving a trail of destruction in its wake. The silence in the Palace of Versailles was a fragile thing, soon to be shattered. When Boehmer, the jeweler, bypassed the cardinal and presented his bill directly to the queen's attendant, the first crack appeared. Marie Antoinette, bewildered, denied any knowledge of the transaction. The news reached King Louis XVI, and his confusion quickly hardened into cold fury. An audacious crime had been committed, using the queen's name as its instrument. The honor of the monarchy was at stake. An investigation was launched, and the conspiracy, so cleverly woven by Jean de Valois, began to unravel with terrifying speed. Cardinal de Rohan was publicly arrested on the Feast of the Assumption, a shocking spectacle that scandalized the court. But the public, already distrustful of the queen's extravagance and Austrian heritage, needed a more satisfying villain. A disgraced cardinal was not enough. They needed a malevolent, foreign influence, a dark magician pulling the strings from the shadows. All eyes turned to Count Alessandro di Cagliostro. His association with Rohan, his reputation as a mystic, and his foreign status made him the perfect scapegoat. He was the sinister Other upon whom the sins of the French aristocracy could be projected. In the gilded, mirror-lined halls where he had once been celebrated as a miracle worker, whispers now painted him as a master conspirator. The narrative was set. Cagliostro, the enchanter of Paris, was about to be recast as the traitor of France, his fall from grace as swift and dramatic as his ascent. The trial of the century began. Not in the hushed salons Cagliostro was accustomed to, but in the cavernous, intimidating grand chamber of the Parliament of Paris. The affair had become a public obsession, a spectacle that laid bare the monarchy's vulnerabilities. Cagliostro, imprisoned in the Bastille, was brought forth to face his accusers. Yet this was not a broken man. He entered the courtroom not as a criminal, but as a persecuted philosopher. His defense was his greatest performance. He dismissed the charges with theatrical flair, his resonant voice filling the chamber. He was not a thief, he argued, but a seeker of truth, a healer of men. Now caught in a vile political intrigue he could not comprehend, he transformed the trial from a criminal proceeding into a battle of ideas. His enlightened mysticism against the state's rigid dogma. He spoke of charity, brotherhood, and his selfless work, captivating the packed galleries. The public, initially primed to despise him, began to waver. Was this charismatic figure truly the mastermind, or was he, like the cardinal, another of Jean de Valois' victims? He presented his life as an open book, a journey in pursuit of the great work. While the judges wrestled with a lack of concrete evidence connecting him to the theft, Cagliostro played to his audience, the people of Paris. The trial became his stage, the accusations mere props. In the end, the verdict was a stunning victory. Cagliostro was acquitted of all charges in the necklace affair. The crowd outside erupted in cheers. For a fleeting moment, the illusionist had triumphed over the crown. Though acquitted, Cagliostro was not free. The king, furious at the public verdict that humiliated the monarchy, issued a letter de cachet. Cagliostro was not released but banished from France forever. His final days in the Bastille were not spent in defeat, but in quiet contemplation. In the solitude of his stone cell, the roles he played count, alchemist, healer, prophet seemed to peel away, leaving a core of impenetrable mystery. Who was he truly? Was he Giuseppe Balsamo, the petty forger from Palermo? Or was he the ageless Count Cagliostro, an enlightened master of a secret order? Here, in this grim fortress, he began writing his Letter to the French People, a final performance cementing his legend as a martyr for liberty against royal tyranny. He transformed his confinement from a punishment into a spiritual retreat, a final stage in his great work. Perhaps the ultimate alchemy he sought was not turning lead into gold, but transmuting his own identity from a man into a myth. The Bastille contained him, but it could not contain his story. As he looked out from his barred window at the city that had both adored and condemned him, he must have known his name would echo long after the stones of the prison had fallen. His final secret was not the formula for an elixir of life, but the unanswerable question of his own existence. He was a mirror, reflecting the hopes, superstitions, and ambitions of an age on the brink of revolution. And when he was finally cast out, the mirror was broken, leaving behind only 1,000 glittering, unknowable fragments of a legend.